Oh, yeah. Well, howdy there, and welcome to Mower Mike's Garage. Today I've got a special video for you. We're going to talk about modifying your chainsaw muffler, specifically this Echo CS-590 that I've been hot rodding out. Now, there are a million other videos on dudes up north modifying their mufflers. And this one I wasn't going to shoot, but I'm going to shoot it anyways because I'm going to show you not why you should, but why you should never start cutting into your stock muffler because I had an absolute disaster with this Echo. So I'm going to go through how to take it off, how you're supposed to modify it, and why you shouldn't. Now, I know you rednecks are like, wow, we're all mad. Don't worry, don't worry. I've got an alternate, way better method than cutting into your $50 muffler here. Make you a stock pipe on your chainsaw that just sounds freaking nasty. So with that, let's go ahead and zoom in on here. I'm gonna show you how to take the muffler off. Showed you exactly how I screwed everything up, and then we're gonna show you how to make a new muffler. Yes, and it does involve this old, rusty Briggs & Stratton dual horse, 20 horse motor. So I know, get excited. So stay with me and let's zoom on in. All right, so the first thing we're gonna show you is how to take this muffler off. And all the bolts on this Echo chainsaw, everything is a T27 star bit, which I've got this really cool Klein Tools tool here that takes them all off super easy. Now, there are two bolts hidden behind this little tiny thing right here. You go in here, there's two bolts right here, then there's two bolts down here. Boom, boom. And so you've got four bolts holding this muffler on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off, and then we're gonna zoom in on the muffler. All right, so what it says on the various YouTube videos is once you have it off, you got your four mount bolts there. You take the four bolts off the exhaust. This is where the exhaust actually comes out. Get ready. Yep, that is what I did. They tell you to go ahead and cut around here because the idea is that it's got this silencer tube in here, and that silencer tube goes all the way to the other side of the muffler, and the idea is cutting that sucker off, you should be able to pull it, just straight pull it out. But if you look deep down in there, it's really hard to see on the camera, but it goes all the way to the other side of the muffler and it welds in there. So you can't just yank this thing out like they do online. I don't know if they have some sort of weird Yankee ingenuity because they're all up north and they're in shops with wood-burning stoves. It looks like they've been freezing their butt off. But here in Texas, I don't have the patience for that because I cut it, and just kept trying to pull on it. And gang, it just doesn't work. So I just wanted to show y'all my fail with this muffler before you go cutting into your own muffler because these things aren't cheap. All right, so for you rednecks that want another option to make yourself a custom exhaust, what we're looking at here is a Briggs & Stratton motor. This thing's junk from my junk pile, but what I use to make my own pipe is this here. Now this is an exhaust header. It straps underneath here, then it goes down into the muffler. I think this was on a John Deere. And what this is the perfect starting point for a muffler on a Echo CS-590 because look at what I've done here. So I've modified it ever so slightly to make an exhaust pipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay these two out and show you exactly where I cut and bent it and whatnot and the modifications I made to make this. Yeah, it looks kind of crazy, but you just wait till the end and you'll be way excited like I am. All right, so the way I modified this header pipe is first of all, I had to cut it right there because it has to come out straight from the exhaust. So that's where I cut it right there. And then I took off the other side right here. So I made two cuts right here. And what I did is I took this piece here and welded it to here. And that's what, so this piece here is what this piece is. And then the rest of this comes right here. So it was just essentially moving the muffler, the end of it, of the header, to here. And it's really that easy. As you can see, my welding skills are not exactly the best. Now on the flange itself, the flange does fit, but I had to drill out towards the inside right there to make it a little tighter. It's a little tighter right there. And then also this bumps against the plastic, so I had to cut that. So there is some modifications, a little grinding, a little fitting, and then the stock bolts do fit, but I had to get some, as you see the holes are a little bigger, so you need some washers, and I had to cut the washers so they slide against there. So all it does and it fits right in this place of the old muffler, and it's gonna be sounding sick. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and strap this thing back on. I am gonna use some exhaust gaskets from these are some Kohler exhaust gaskets. So they go on each side of this plate. So this plate goes like this. There's an exhaust gasket on each side, like so. And then your muffler bolts up there, straps right in there. And just for a little extra fun, I've got some exhaust wrap. I'm gonna try to wrap this sucker up. I got freaking 50 feet of exhaust wrap, titanium exhaust wrap on Amazon for like $15. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna freaking wrap this thing up, strap it back on there, and we're gonna see how she sounds. Now, before I do this, I am gonna warn you, this is not legal because it does get rid of your spark arrestor. Your spark arrestor is the screen that goes behind the exhaust. So take it for what it will. You probably get arrested if you're cutting down trees in a national park with this muffler, but boy, she is awesome. So stay tuned, and we're gonna go straight to the money shop. I'm not even gonna mess around with strapping this thing on. Next shot, we're gonna be cutting some wood, baby. Oh, what a tease, he's not saw anything yet. I know, just had to point a couple things out real quick. I can see here, my redneck exhaust pipe has been wrapped in some exhaust header wrap titanium. Yeah, to make it extra redneck looking, you can get 50 foot of a titanium exhaust wrap, header wrap, on Amazon for like $13. So that's pretty amazing. You can see here, I actually used hose clamps to clamp it in, and you just wrap it real tight. It comes with some funky clamps I did not use. So what we're gonna do here, you put this on first. So this is the gasket. It comes with, well, this is from the saw itself, this piece of metal, and it slides down in here like so with the round part on the bottom. You can see here, I siliconed a couple, I think these are Kohler head gaskets, not head gaskets, but exhaust glass gaskets. I'll post a link. I've got the Briggs & Stratton exhaust gaskets I'm gonna put down there. And another cool thing I did just for y'all, I went ahead and Googled and found out the source and the part number of these header pipes. These are off John Deere LA series lawnmowers specifically, and they sell them for about $14, $15. So you can have them come straight to your door, which is pretty wild considering it's about a 15-year-old lawnmower design. So if you wanted to use this, but really you could probably use any small engine exhaust pipe and just start cutting it. Now, one other thing to notice, when you start cutting it, make sure you get enough room. Make sure that this part here sticking out is long enough to clear the plastic part. So when you first do it, just do it trial by error. Go do it like this, try to fit it a little bit by hand, and then just tack it and just keep fitting it in there until it looks just about right. The way I did it, I came out this side because it's keeping it away from you, but you have to make sure you've got enough clearance from here that you're clearing the plastic part, but you don't want to come way out here because you got your wood right here. So right about in this area here, it works out really good. It's all about the direction. I got pretty lucky with mine coming out here because there's this little spot that takes that pipe just about perfect. All right, and one more thing. When you're playing with exhaust wrap, I found out a pair of clippers is the only way to cut it. So these work great on pretty much anything. I'll put a link below. Much better than regular scissors. All right, I think that covers all the particulars. So let's go ahead and strap it up and get the saw and have the fun part. All right, kids, we finally get to let this thing unleash itself and eat some wood. I am super pumped about the test. But before we get there, while I was going through the test and research development phase of this thing, as you can see, no more exhaust wrap. It shook itself off. It did not go too good. So I just put a black coat of header paint on there. And also, on these two bolts in there, this thing is going to shake. So make sure to put some, what do they call it? Thread lock stuff on it. The red stuff. All right. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and test her out. One thing for sure, make sure to put some earmuffs because this son of a bitch is loud and awesome. All right, let's get her ripped up. Oh, let's let her eat, baby. All right, I'm gonna tune her just a bit. Sounds like she's running a little lean, so hang on just a minute. All right, we're back. I had to put about a quarter turn in that high jet to richen it up because you've really loosened up the exhaust doing something this crazy, so you're gonna have more air flowing through there, so you're gonna need a little more gas. Now, I've got my carb tuning video I just did last week down below, so check that out. So let's go ahead and give her another shot, see how she does. Oh boy, you won't find a better cutting saw than this thing here. That thing is just ripping the wood. I tell you what, I've modified a lot of things in my life, but this could be one of the coolest, easiest ones I've done to date. So don't be scared. Just start cutting and welding. You've never welded before, give it a shot. So with that, Mower Mike's out. I promise we're gonna have some more mower videos here in a couple weeks. I've just got to get over my chainsaw kink. So catch you next time.